and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Julius Caesar, and today we get to hear from Mark Antony doing his last monologue of Act 3, Scene 1. Tomorrow we get into Act 3, Scene 2, in which he's got a boatload more monologues, and they're really, really deep. This one is really, really short. So at the beginning, middle-ish of the scene, Caesar was stabbed by the conspirators. Then Mark Antony came because he was told that he wouldn't be killed if he came, to ask how, or like why Caesar had to die, and Brutus promises that he'll tell him. And Mark Antony's like, I'd also like to speak at the funeral, and Cassius is wary of that, but Brutus is like, yes, okay, you can speak at the funeral, but you can't say anything bad about us, and I'm gonna speak first. And Mark Antony's like, cool. So they leave him, and yesterday we got him sort of eulogizing, sort of prophesying over the body of Julius Caesar, saying that he misses him and he was a very noble man and all that sort of stuff, but then also saying that he's pretty sure that Rome is gonna fall apart now, but actually that all of Italy is gonna fall apart now that Caesar has been killed. And then Octavius Caesar's servant comes in and sort of starts crying over the body of Caesar, and Mark Antony's like, no, hold off your tears, because otherwise I'm going to start crying too. But Octavius Caesar is nearby, right? And the servant is like, yes. And Mark Antony says, post back with speed and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell him so. Yet stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this course into the marketplace. There shall I try in my oration how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody men, according to the which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius of the state of things. Lend me your hand. And then Act 3, Scene 1 ends. So basically what he's saying is, go tell Octavius Caesar that Rome is not welcoming to him right now, and if he comes here, you know, he's gonna have to be very wary of what's going on. But then he's like, wait a second, before you go and tell him that, listen to what I have to say at the funeral, and then judging how the people feel about Caesar's death once Brutus has spoken and once I've spoken, depending on how the people feel, that's the message that you can take back to Octavius. Sounds like a plan, right? And sort of sounds like Mark Antony might have some interesting things to say at the funeral, which I'll give you a hint, he does. But we got to hear from Brutus first, and I believe that's tomorrow. We get to hear what Brutus, let me just double check that. I think, yes, tomorrow we get to hear what Brutus has to say first, and then we'll get into what Mark Antony has to say about the death of Julius Caesar. I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah. Oh, and do you like how I match? Mwah.